Welcome in, collective, for this full moon and lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Pisces. We have, once again, 3 different decks to choose from, 3 different stones to choose from. We have cleansed the decks, cleared the space, called in all those angels, ancestors, divine creators, benevolent beings, whatever guides you subscribe most to at this time, to bring forth those messages that are in alignment with you and your highest timeline that you are currently enacting and playing out as we speak. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to pause, let you see if you're drawn to a particular deck or maybe a particular stone, and then we'll get into the readings. Deck 1. Bottom of the deck, we're seeing the Keeper of Dance. So movement might be important at this time to let go and shake off any of those old energies that are no longer serving you. But let's see what the guides need you to know most at this time for this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, please. Okay, we have the card number 7, Keeper of Balance. I'm seeing a lot of different aspects coming through from this card, but nature thrives in balance. The tree keepers honored this truth and emulated it in their lives. Are you feeling off balance right now? Tempted to think in terms of too much or not enough? Now is the time to restore the vitality of your own life tree with balance. Where are you spending your time and energy right now? What do you need? The means of restoring your balance isn't as important as recognizing and voicing your own need. You are the keeper of your life tree. Be willing to honestly assess where you feel blocked, lopsided, hurt, or needy. Be vulnerable enough to admit to yourself, then take action on behalf of your own precious self. Okay, so finding that balance. I'm getting strongly still just letting go of what isn't serving you. That is full moon energy. We had a card that dropped out onto the floor. Did not want to go back in the deck. It's a card of progress. So might seem like it's a long haul, long road ahead that you've been on. Like things might not be always working out in your favor, but your efforts will pay off soon if you stay course for at least a few more months prior to jumping into any sort of change. So, okay, a couple more cards here, please. What else do they need to know? Thank you. We have flashback. People from the past return. You may work with a previous coworker or take back an old job. You get a second chance. And we also have a card of strategy. So needing a step-by-step plan of attack to reach the next level, getting advice of someone who's already where you want to go. So you might be, I'm getting at this point in time, talking with others, prepping for the future, trying to get some information, some intel, and kind of map out a little bit where you might go. It's not something that's set in stone. I'm seeing that this is bound to change along the way, but at least you have a good idea of where you're going and how you might get there. So it doesn't have to be exact. It's not, well, I didn't get that done like I planned to, so everything's ruined and now I'm just stuck where I'm at. No, that's not the case. So you're planning, you're being strategic, you're not making any fast moves or decisions. And at bottom of the deck here, we do see that you're moving up. So you're increasing your power and your strength. And let's see, we're going to do one final kind of reminder. I'm getting this need to show the collective this uplifted side during this eclipse energy a lot of you might be struggling through. So one card that best suits this collective, please. Whatever the guides need them to know, hear, see, or feel most, as a reminder of who they are, how strong they are, something along these lines. How can they affirm themselves? We have, I transform my darkness into lasers of light. Fuck yes. Your shadow is as important as your light. Your oneness with the universe includes both. Parts of the shadow, such as anger, frustration, negativity, and irritation, are packed with energy, which means they can be used constructively to fire up your motivation muscles. These dark expressions can fuel a better life with deeper relationships and more meaning. If you find yourself consumed with darkness, transform the energy into lasers of positivity. The tree of life cannot grow to kiss heaven until the roots reach deep into hell. From chaos comes expansion. Beautiful messages, collective. Deck 1. You likely were drawn in to this gorgeous stone. The stone of ruby in Zoisite. And its primary purpose is to activate the crown chakra. It can help with, I'm getting soul retrieval. Excuse me. So soul memory, spiritual learning, past life work, and helping to promote individuality. Now, ruby alone is to really impart energy, so bringing vigor and balance into this delicate life, but it can overstimulate some. Now, to have that in combination with Zoisite, it transmutes the negative energies that are around one, and it really pulls into connection the here and now, the physical realm with the spiritual realm. So it helps to hold this, I'm getting, while you're meditating, to set some manifestations in place. So it's coming and connecting you with your higher self, as opposed to you maybe taking on perceptions of others that might be surrounding you. I love it. If you can, feel free to grab one of these gorgeous stones and work with it. See how it can benefit you. Thank you, Deck 1. Deck 2. Let's see what your guides need you to hear most for this full moon lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Pisces. What do you need to know, hear, see, feel at this time? We have card number 3. This is the card that is the new dawn. bottom of the deck, we have number 7, Divine Gateway. So moving through this transition, you are closing out one chapter, coming in to another. It's a new dawn, new beginning. It heralds a time of great change. Perhaps you feel you are stuck in a situation you can't break free from. Ask yourself if you are still happy about where you are in life, or is it time to reassess and move on? Sometimes you may settle into a comfortable situation and not want to leave it, even though it is not ideal. You feel safe with what you know because it's familiar to you. Maybe this position you find yourself in is a replaying of a negative childhood pattern. You are unhappy, but the thought of making any changes scare you so much that you remain stuck. The New Dawn card encourages you to take a risk, as the next chapter of your life could be even better. By practicing mindfulness, you can slow down and ask yourself what you really want from life, and then work on what is holding you back. Life is about making choices, but sometimes the choices you make are just quick reactions that are not very well thought through. You then believe you are stuck with them. A big red flag this card signifies is the compulsion to act nice and smile instead of facing a situation that may initially need conflict to resolve. The need to be liked can be stronger than living an authentic life, so be true to yourself, first and foremost. Make one small comfortable change in your life that you've been thinking about for a while, but haven't yet felt daring enough to implement. Now is the time. Be brave. I like being brave. It's a fun thought. Let's see here. A few cards for deck 2, where they might focus their energy. Here's a couple. Oh, they gave me all 3. Perfect. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have give and take. So making sure that you're being open not only to giving your energy, but receiving from others. We have short term, so position is temporary. Don't be too attached to it. No worries. You'll find something that's even more fulfilling and prosperous in the future. This might come with an investment. You're investing in your education and making some big plans for the future. You're taking some calculated risks, but you're saving something to fall back on. Now, this could actually be investing in something like e-commerce, I'm getting, Bitcoin, the stock market, housing, real estate. Yep, I'm getting all of those. So it seems like it's a tangible thing that you're trying to invest in. And then we have the card of wisdom. You are called to serve as a mentor for someone or as a role model and guide who can show you the way. Use your wisdom and experience. Love it. What does deck 2 need to know most of this time? What is their closing message, reminder, affirmation of who they are and what they can seek to do here during this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces? Your gut is the captain of your intuition mission. You're on this planet to complete a mission, but have you appointed the right captain for the ship? Sometimes the head and the heart duke it out in confusion. The mind is like, I'm lost, baby. The world is melting, I'm freaking out, and there's no logic to this. And the heart is like, relax, honey. It's gonna be okay, but stop yelling at me. I think I'm gonna break. Why don't you trust me? The unending quarrel continues until the gut finally yells, If you two maniacs shut up, I'll show you how to complete the mission. When you allow your intuition, or your gut, to captain your rocket ship, life explodes into galactic flow. I love it. Great messages, deck 2. If you were drawn in to the stone here for deck 2, let's see if I can get it to focus in on this a little bit. Then we are looking at the Bloodstone. You can see that there's some specks of red, almost orange hue inside of that. So people claim that is like drops of blood, for example. But let's dive a little bit deeper into what Bloodstone is, which is a powerful healer. It's an energy cleanser. It stimulates the immune system. It gives us courage and is a teacher in how to avoid dangerous situations, how to be strategic in one's moves. It heightens the intuition and it can help enhance creativity. Not only that, but due to the dark color green nature that's in here, it's grounding in those energies. And it helps to block out undesirable influences. It's a great stone to keep by your bedside if you need help with dreaming as well. And just like deck 1 with their stone, this stone also can be utilized to help connect you with your higher self and help block out external influences. Beautiful stone. Definitely during this eclipse is a great time. Apologies. This eclipse is a great time to not only release what is no longer serving you because it is still a full moon, but it also helps to bring some things into perspective, to see how many different layers there might be in one's life, what you're dealing with goes a lot deeper than surface level. Is what this stone is giving me. Beautiful messages, deck 2. Thank you so much. Deck 3, bottom card is the Porcupine Anemone. So, alright. We got some boundaries that we're working with here. What does deck 3 need to know, hear, see, or feel most at this time from their guides during this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, please? Ooh, you get 2 cards. Look at you. Okay. We have the Boar and the Pumpkin, which is a card that speaks about confidence. And we also have the Weasel and Pine, which speaks to introspection. Bottom of the deck is being Pomegranate, which is all about positivity. With their winding vines and large, heavily seeded fruit, pumpkins signify abundance, health, and resilience. Meanwhile, the fierce and intelligent boar is known for its sharp tusks and aggressive movements. Combined, the boar and pumpkin embody self-assurance. Your confidence is well-founded. Any insults or attempts to damage your morale will roll off your back. You are thick-skinned like the pumpkin and courageous like the boar. What accomplishments are you proud of? How can you improve your confidence and sense of self-worth? Weasels can be warriors or spies, moving quickly and often alone. They make observations from afar and adjust their plans accordingly. Remember that solitary creatures are nothing to fear. And an introverted nature is nothing to feel ashamed of. Knowing oneself and being comfortable alone are desirable skills. Like the weasel, the pine tree works to be self-sufficient. One of the fastest growing evergreens, its prickly needles have a waxy coating that helps them to retain water. You are called to a time of solitude. Isolation allows for contemplation, which can lead to self-knowledge. When do you like to be alone? How can you better understand and respect yourself? Those are all great questions to be asking oneself. So let's get a little bit more information here. It could be career related, life in general. Like, what are we looking at here for deck 3? What do the guides need them to know about these cards? During this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, first out is a card of guidance. So the divine forces are showing you the way. You're discovering another piece to your destiny and your purpose in life. Yeah, you're being guided, but are you open to see that? I feel like that's the card of solitude. That's, the weasel and the pine, having that solitude, knowing where your focus is and what you're listening to. We also have prickly situation. So you need both tact and diplomacy to reach your goals. The struggle's worth the prize, and work around the issue using a gentle touch. So you're not being abrasive with others, which is really great. You're showing your compassionate side. You know that it's a sensitive situation. Ooh, last card. To the floor. So I'm feeling like this is something that might have been a little bit forgotten or put on the back burner. It's a card of education. So you may need to take a class or do research to find a better position, or you may find yourself writing a book or teaching others. Bottom of the deck is a card of relationships. So business partners, office love affairs, communication with coworkers are really being highlighted at this time. So that's where that care and compassion is coming from, this prickly situation. Whatever you're dealing with right now needs your utmost attention so that it is cared for in the right way, and so that the relationship is developed in a healthy manner. Okay. Great messages. Feels like all 3 decks have been dealing with a bit of business at this time. But let's see. One final closing message for deck 3, please. Whatever the guides need to remind them or affirm them of how awesome they are. We have, as you submerge your body in Mother Earth, you heal all your hurts. Before concrete jungles, rubber shoes, sterile hospital delivery rooms, carpets, paints, plastic bottles, and cubicles, Your tough ass ancestors evolved and survived over millions of years in direct connectivity with the earth. They were bare assed, absorbing antioxidants, vitamins, critical aminos, and dense nutrients through untainted soils, natural water sources, and rejuvenating sunlight. Nature is the ultimate healer physically, mentally, and spiritually. There is a reason why ideas explode, inflammation disappears, and stress retreats when exploring the outdoors. Take off your shoes and grab some bananas. Yo, it's time to monkey around. Oh, I love that. Fabulous messages. Okay, deck 3. Perhaps you were drawn to that deck, or perhaps you were drawn to this beautiful stone. I'm going to see if I can get it to focus here. Bear with me as we change some of this. Okay, so this stone that we are looking at, this is actually the stone Unakite. It is a gorgeous stone in my opinion. It has these shades of pink and green in them, and just a wonderful I'm getting all about you. Unakite can be used with the third eye. It is a stone of vision. It balances those emotions with spirituality. So I've noticed something between all three stones in this reading. They talk about the self tremendously. They talk about aligning with oneself and pushing away anything that's external beyond what's going to serve you in your highest timeline. So oftentimes we fall into these patterns where we continue down a path because it's what someone thinks might be best for us, or it's what we've always known and we feel comfortable in. But I'm seeing that this is a time for you to be grounding in your energies. So calm, collected, focusing on breathing, meditating, and often used for psychic work. The stone can be used for scrying. Now, I personally haven't attempted scrying. That might change with this full moon eclipse. We'll see. But this is because of how elaborate the details are between these different colors that are just forged together. It brings forward a sense of belonging and a truth in knowing your path, your way forward. I'm also getting that you're not letting the darkness in your life overcome the rest of your being. So whether that's something that you're helping to treat an illness and you're battling with something and you're not quite sure how to go about it, this is giving you those positive energies. It's radiating this light and bringing forward insights from the past, something that might have caused blockages that can be released and let go of. this is helping to go back to the source of the problem, whether in this life or other lives. It varies person to person. It can be used to help reframe that original, I'm going to say pitfall is what's coming to me. The original pitfall or pollution. I'm getting noise pollution. So something that might have triggered you comes from an event in your past that needs to be reframed into a new vision, a new way of seeing it. But this isn't forceful. This is a very calm and gentle stone. So what it does is just helps to bring those emotions, those thoughts, those perceptions up from the depths, and it's slowly pulling those out and letting them come to the surface so that they can be removed. I'm getting an analogy like a problem mole. So if you have, interesting. All right. If you have a yard and you have a problem possibly with a mole that's eating your plant's roots, and you really enjoy that plant and you love that plant and you want it to stay, but the mole is like making all their tunnels and it's destroying the roots or eating the roots. I'm not sure what moles do, honestly, but you don't really realize what that problem is until you see the little mound that it's made in your backyard and you're like, okay, now I know what it is. Now I can fix that problem. So that's what this stone is trying to do with various situations in your life. It's trying to pull those issues up to the surface to a place where you can recognize what the issue is and how you can correct it and move on from it or fix it and go about it in a new way. I love that. That's a great thing to have. So look into Unakite. If you like stones, go grab yourself some. It is readily available in some places. So, if you feel like traveling to be a rock hunter and go find some stones, by all means, this one is a great one to look for. Beautiful messages. Thank you, Deck 3. If you stayed through all these messages, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience with these messages as they came through. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, toodles!